Hello everyone and welcome to the final book haul for January. Some of these I'll just kind of explain as I go. I did go to Barnes & Noble and ended up getting like, was it four or five books. I was looking for other books, so I had gone in with cash to get certain books for like readathons, but I did not find it, so I ended up ordering those on Amazon instead because I just couldn't find them in Barnes & Noble. They did not have them. So yeah, but I did leave Barnes & Noble with books. I cannot go into Barnes & Noble and leave without buying anything. So let's go ahead and get into these. So one of the books I got from Barnes & Noble, I'm going to do the hardback books first. So this first one I got from Barnes & Noble and it was like facing out, so I did not see the spine. It was the actual cover and it has a black cat. And so I was like, I need to get that because Ophelia, she just had her lunch and has just now gone upstairs to find a spot to sleep, I am sure. Anyway, so Ophelia is my cat and she is all black. So black cat, I'm thinking, oh, I can't pass this up. All right, so the one I got says it's an international bestseller and the title is What You Are Looking For Is in the Library. And this is by Michiko Aoyama. I'm sure I said that wrong. Translated by Allison Watts. So, what are you looking for? So asks Tokyo's most enigmatic librarian. For Sayuri Tomachi is able to sense exactly what each visitor to her library is searching for and provide just the book recommendation to help them find it. A restless retail assistant looks to gain new skills. A mother tries to overcome demotion at work after a maternity leave. A conscientious accountant yearns to open an antique store. A recently retired salaryman searches for newfound purpose. In Komachi's unique book recommendations, they will find just what they need to achieve their dreams. So, it sounds cute. Sounds like that maybe it'll be a thought-provoking, and I'm guessing it was translated from Japanese just because it says Tokyo, because that's in Japan, right? I am so bad with geography. Anyway, so yeah. Now some of these books are for book clubs or readathons, specifically book clubs that I want to participate in March. I do have some books that are supposed to be here within the first like 7 days of February, and those three of those books that are supposed to arrive are for book clubs that take place in February. And so I thought I don't want to run into that issue again, so I want to order like a month in advance. So we're at the end of January. I've ordered these books, so I'll have them in February so that they're ready to go for March. And then at the end of February, I'll order the books for April, if that makes sense. So this is one of them for March. Maeve Fly by C.J. Leede. And the person licking that eyeball, I sure hope this has the body horror I'm thinking it's going to have from that cover, because I like body horror. It does say this is gory and brutal, so that gives me higher hopes. By day, Maeve Fly works at the happiest place in the world as every child's favorite ice princess. By the neon glow of the Sunset Strip, Maeve hunts the dive bars with a drink in one hand and a book in the other, imitating her misanthropic literary heroes. But when Gideon Green, her best friend's brother, moves to town, he awakens something dangerous within her, and the world she knows suddenly shifts beneath her feet. Untethered, Maeve ditches her discontented act and tries on a new persona, a bolder, bloodier one. Inspired by the pages of American Psycho. Step aside, Patrick Bateman. It's Maeve's turn with the knife. It says that Maeve Fly is a provocative and unforgettable debut that is both a blood-soaked love letter to L.A. and a gleeful send-up of iconic horror villains. Alrighty. So yeah. Now a book club that I want to participate in February, there was no selection for January, so the first book for this particular book club is in February, and the selection is Out There Screaming This is edited by Jordan Peele. This is an anthology of new black horror. And this cover is textured, like it's crinkled up foil. A cop begins seeing huge blinking eyes where the headlights of cars should be that tell him who to pull over. Two freedom riders take a bus ride that leaves them stranded on a lonely road in Alabama, where several unsettling somethings await them. A young girl dives into the depths of the earth in search of the demon that killed her parents. These are just a few of the worlds of out there screaming. So, horror stories by black writers, compiled by Jordan. So that's all I know. We'll see how I feel. Sometimes short stories can be real hit or miss for me. It just depends. So I'm hoping these ones are good. Now this next book I got, it was 50% off that day at Barnes & Noble. I meant it's a hardback, and so I thought, absolutely am I going to be getting a 50% off hardback. This one's a memoir, and this is one of my favorite actors. I saw him in Star Wars, and I have not seen all of Star Wars. I've seen a good handful or two of the episodes from the original series and the Next Generation series. And this one was my favorite Star Trek captain of the two series. And this guy is, I don't know how old he is anymore, but he was in, and this will probably give away who I'm thinking of, he was in the original X-Men series. So he played Professor Xavier, and there's a movie that he did of A Christmas Carol, and the version of A Christmas Carol that has him playing Ebenezer Scrooge is my favorite Christmas Carol version. None other than Patrick Stewart is who I'm talking about. So, Making It So by Patrick Stewart. So I enjoyed the original Star Trek for the several episodes that I have seen, but the Next Generation, he's the favorite captain, in my opinion. So, yeah, I absolutely had to get this. I'm not going to read the synopsis on this because it's a memoir, so it's about his life, things like that. So it's pretty obvious, and so I'm excited to get to this at some point. But I have not seen everything that he has done, but everything that I have seen, I have absolutely loved. He is a very talented actor, in my opinion, so I wanted to get that. And I'm very happy it was 50% off as well. That's a bonus. This next hardback book was cheaper than the paperback, or the paperback was not set to be released for several months or something like that. So it's one of the two. I usually try to order the paperback because they are more wallet friendly, but sometimes it's the hardback's cheaper because the paperback's not available. Anyway, so this one, my mom wants to read this, but she has a digital copy of it. And this one is for a book club in March that I want to participate in. And this book is Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. After Tova Sullivan's husband died, she began working the night shift at the Sowell Bay Aquarium, mopping floors and tidying up. Keeping busy has always helped her cope. Which she's been doing since her 18-year-old son Eric mysteriously vanished on a boat in Puget Sound over 30 years ago. So if it was over 30 years ago, he was 18, so 48. So he'd be 48 at least. Okay. So definitely an older protagonist. Tova becomes acquainted with curmudgeonly Marcellus, a great Pacific octopus living at the aquarium. Marcellus knows more than anyone can imagine, but wouldn't dream of lifting one of his 8 arms for his human captors until he forms a remarkable friendship with Tova. Ever the detective, Marcellus deduces what happened the night Tova's son disappeared, and now Marcellus must use every trick his old invertebrate body can muster to unearth the truth for her before it's too late. Okay, and it says this is a debut novel, And it's a gentle reminder that sometimes taking a hard look at the past can help uncover a future that once felt impossible. And it sounds like maybe at times this might be told from the octopus's perspective. That will be interesting. Now this next one is actually a pre-order. I absolutely love the cover on this, and so I thought I'm going to pre-order this. It has purple sprayed edges. It's just a solid color all the way around. And this is Gothikana by RuNyx, a tale of dark romance. And I'm going to take this cover off. There's nothing on the back, but there's that. It's a shield with a sword, and it says Verenmore, I'm guessing is how it is said. And then in pages, and it's the same on the back. Okay, now I'm going to get this back on. Okay. An outcast her entire life, Corvina Clem is left adrift after losing her mother. When she receives the admission letter from the mysterious University of Verenmore, she accepts it as a sign from the universe. The last thing she expects, though, is an old, secluded castle on top of a mountain riddled with secrets, deceit, and death. Vad Deverell is an enigma and enjoys being a closed book, but knows exactly everything that happens in the university. As a part-time professor working on his thesis, Vad has been around long enough to know the dangers the castle possesses, and he knows the moment his path crosses with Corvina that she's dangerous to everything that he is. They shouldn't have caught each other's eye. They cannot be. But a chill-inducing century-old mystery forces them to collide. People have disappeared every 5 years for more than 100 years. Corvina is getting clues to unraveling it all, and Vad needs to keep an eye on her. And so begins a tale of the mysterious, the morbid, the macabre, and the deep love that blossoms in the unlikeliest of places. So this was a pre-order for this edition, and so yeah, this one has finally come in. How long ago did I pre-order this? Like 2 or 3 months ago, something like that. Okay, these next 2 books I'm going to talk about, I will need to insert an image of one of the actual covers. This author has various covers for these books. There's the original cover, sometimes there's an artist rendition, sometimes there's an item edition, and then there's the discrete series. And this one is, I'm trying to collect the discrete series for these authors. They are very spicy, and the discrete version has the couple in the story, has their name on the front, nothing on the back. The actual title is on the inside along with the synopsis. So the couple for this one is Tommy and Tanya by Willow Winters. So I will insert an image of one of the original covers. The title is Cuffed Kiss, and this particular one is book number 4 in the Valletti crime series, or crime family series, and you can read them as standalones, but I wanted to there's 5 in that series, and so the next one up is the 5th one. So this one's Cuffed Kiss. Again, this is number 4 in the Valletti crime family series. It says, I didn't plan on stumbling into Tommy, the muscle of the Valletti crime family. He wants me to stay away, but holds the key to everything I need. All of this started because I wanted the truth. I need answers to numb the pain of my past. It was never supposed to be anything else. He makes me beg when I've never pleaded with anyone for a damn thing. He makes me crave something I never imagined. He makes me wish I could hold on to this moment and forget everything else. He's a thug, a mistake, and everything I need. So this is a mafia spicy romance, and these are dark. Okay, this next one is the final book in the Valletti crime family series, again by Willow Winters. This is a discrete version as well. And this one is for Anthony and Catherine. The title is Bad Boy. It says, I'm a dangerous man. You may be fooled by my good looks and charm, but my eyes give it away. I'm the hitman for the Valletti familia, and I'm damn good at what I do. They want men to talk, and I make them talk. They want men gone, bang, it's done. It's as simple as that. Until her. She's on my list, but I want her. On her knees and submitting to my every command. I'll give her a simple choice, die or be mine. I've always wanted this. Now that I have the chance, I'm taking it. I can fulfill those fantasies I know she has. I'm going to make her beg for it. So, now this next book is a novella in a series. The first book was A Girl Like Her, and it was book number 1 in the Ravenswood trilogy written by Talia Hibbert. Now this one is a novella and it is number 1.5, so this takes place after book number 1. The first one we read for Autism Reads in January, so the link to that Discord is always in the description box. I wanted a physical copy because I have a physical copy of the whole trilogy. I have a physical copy of all 3 of those books. I wanted a physical copy of the novella, so I got that. This is titled Damaged Goods, so again by Talia Hibbert, and these do get spicy. Not nearly as spicy as like Willow Winters. I would say, I think those are all tagged erotica as well for Willow Winters. So, but these are still, they do still get explicit. Second chances shouldn't feel so sinful. Laura Byrne's husband is a monster. Her diamond ring is a trap, and her pregnancy is the push she needs to finally escape. She runs away seeking safety and finds Samir Bianchi, her long-lost teenage sweetheart. With his kind eyes and dirty smile, Samir's still hot as hell, and he still treats Laura like a goddess, baby bump and all. The wild boy she spent one magical summer with is every inch a man, and he's more than ready to care for her tiny family. But Laura's been keeping a secret Samir might never forgive. When she finally confesses, will he remain by her side, or is this fairy tale ending too good to be true? This next one I saw at Barnes & Noble, and it was a complete cover pickup and author pickup. I've read from this author before. She wrote the 4 Horsemen series. I have read Pestilence, loved the writing. I do own War. I have not picked it up yet, but so this is the start of another series. And oh, she also wrote the Bargainer series. I think I own Rhapsodic. Do I own that one? Anyway, I like the I just love this cover, and I like the author's writing, so I picked this one up, and this is Bewitched by Laura Thalassa. This is book number 1 in the Bewitched series. I knew you would come, my queen. At age 20, Celine Bowers desperately hopes to be accepted into the Henbane Coven, an academy for young witches. Since one of the requirements for entry is to connect with her powers via a quest through the wilderness, Celine books a trip to South America. When a nefarious supernatural force tries to drag her plane from the sky, Celine's magic awakens to save her life, at a cost. Using her powers devours her memories, one by one. Worse, when Celine braves the jungle and discovers the source of the attack, she finds herself awakening an ancient evil, Memnon the Cursed, who mistakes Celine for his long-dead wife, the wife who betrayed him. Celine manages to escape and begin her studies at Henbane, but when Memnon turns up at the coven and witches are found dead across campus, Celine becomes entangled in a dangerous plot. Accused of the murders on the basis of her memory loss, Celine must rely on Memnon's help for answers, and his plans for her will change everything. Now this next was another cover buy from Barnes & Noble. Just a very simple cover. And I have not read from this author before, but it does, I only read like the first little paragraph of the synopsis, and from that it sounds good, so we'll see. But I picked up Pack Up the Moon by Kristen Higgins. Every month a letter. That's what Lauren decides to leave her husband when she finds out she's dying. Each month she gives Josh a letter containing a task to help him face his first year without her, leading him on a heart-rending, beautiful, often humorous journey to find happiness again in this new novel from this author. Okay, Joshua and Lauren are the perfect couple. Newly married, they're wildly in love, each on a successful and rewarding career path. Then Lauren is diagnosed with a terminal illness. As Lauren's disease progresses, Joshua struggles to make the most of the time he has left with his wife and to come to terms with his future, a future without the only woman he's ever loved. He's so consumed with finding a way to avoid the inevitable ending that he never imagines his life after Lauren. but Lauren has a plan to keep her husband moving forward. A plan hidden in the letters she leaves him. In those letters, one for every month of the year after her death, Lauren leads Joshua on a journey through pain, anger, and denial. It's a journey that will take Joshua from his attempt at a dinner party for family and friends to get rid of their bed, from a visit with a psychic medium to a kiss with a woman who isn't Lauren. As his grief makes room for laughter and new relationships, Joshua learns Lauren's most valuable lesson. The path to happiness doesn't follow a straight line. Yeah, this sounds like it's going to be probably a tearjerker, so but it does sound good. This next one, it was from Barnes & Noble, and this was another one where the cover was facing out, and I was intrigued by the cover. And this was in the horror section, and this is the Last Days by Adam Nevill, I'm guessing is how the last name is said. Yeah, this definitely makes me want to wonder what the heck is going on. So, when guerrilla documentary maker Kyle Freeman is asked to shoot a film on the notorious cult known as the Temple of the Last Days, it appears his prayers have been answered. The cult became a worldwide phenomenon in 1975 when there was a massacre including the death of its infamous leader, Sister Catherine. Kyle's brief is to explore the paranormal myths surrounding an organization that became a testament to paranoia, murderous rage, and occult rituals. The shoot's locations take him to the cult's first temple in London and, an abandoned farm in France, and a derelict copper mine in the Arizonian desert where the Temple of the Last Days met its bloody end. But when he interviews those involved in the case, those who haven't broken silence in decades, a series of uncanny events plague the shoots. Troubling out-of-body experiences, nocturnal visitations, the sudden demise of their interviewees, and the discovery of ghastly artifacts make Kyle question what exactly it is the cult has awoken, as well as its interest in him. Okay, this sounds really good. This next book is one for a book club in March, I believe. Either that or it's for February. It's one of the two, February or March. This one is Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. I tried reading the Testaments by Margaret Atwood. I was just not in the right frame of mind. I was kind of bored, so I DNF'd it, but I would like to give it another try. I think I just was not in the right frame of mind for that one. But the writing was pretty well done in my opinion. So Oryx and Crake, and I think this one's a standalone. It says, Oryx and Crake, the first book of the Mad Adam trilogy. Oh, I didn't know this was a trilogy. Okay. Let's see. Is at once an unforgettable love story and a compelling vision of the future. Showman, known as Jimmy before mankind, was overwhelmed by a plague, is struggling to survive in a world where he may be the last human, and mourning the loss of his best friend Crake, and the beautiful and elusive Oryx, whom they both loved. In search of answers, Showman embarks on a journey, with the help of the green-eyed children of Crake, through the lush wilderness that was so recently a great city, until powerful corporations took mankind on an uncontrolled genetic engineering ride. It says Margaret Atwood projects us into a near future that is both all too familiar and beyond our imagining. So, dystopian or post-apocalyptic dystopian, I'm thinking. So we'll see. Now this next one is for a readathon or read-along book club that takes place in February. And this is actually book number 4 in the All Saints series. I did message on Instagram the group that's doing this and ask if it can be read as a standalone, and they did say yes. I don't remember if it was the author or the host of this read-along that responded back, but either way, it is confirmed this can be read as standalones. They're just companion books. So yeah, so this is the selection for February. The group that hosts this is like the Probably Smut Book Club, and they have a monthly subscription that you can do where they send you a special edition of the book along with like tabs and stuff like that. So I would like to be able to sign up for this subscription, but I'm on a wait list. So, and I guess the slots sell out fast. I don't know. There's one that you can join for free, which is just basically you buy it and yourself, the book, your own copy. And then there's a tier that's $25, which comes with the book and the sticky tabs and other things. And then there's a tier that's $40, which comes with a t-shirt. So, yeah, anyway. And they did a cover reveal for the special edition. And honestly, I'm kind of glad I missed out on that box because I like the cover of the one I have in my hands better than the special edition one. This one is just more my vibes and taste. So, this book is called Damaged Goods by L.J. Shen. Shen or Sheen? Shen, I'm guessing. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. So yeah, Damaged Goods. I really like this cover, so I'm happy I got this edition. Underneath the goody two-shoes persona is damaged goods. But can the bad boy across the street save her? Bailey Followhill is the perfect daughter. Sweet, charitable, pretty, control freak. Not a hair out of place. Not an inch out of line. She is everything her troublemaking sister Daria isn't. But when her A game turns out to be a lukewarm C- at Juilliard, Bailey's picture-ready life starts fraying faster than the worn satin ribbons of her point shoes. She's becoming a piece of gossip, the troubled child, a drug abuser, no longer the girl her best friend once knew. Lev Cole is so golden, he's got the Midas touch. Prized quarterback, football captain, hottest guy in SoCal, I'm guessing it's South California? A textbook cliche, but with a girlfriend he doesn't love and a career path he doesn't value. Lev, I'm guessing Lev, is coasting. The only two things he cares about, Bailey and becoming a pilot, are out of reach. But Lev is done being satisfied with the life the others have chosen for him. He wants to pick his own cards, to demolish the seamless kingdom of lies his family stitched together on the ruins his mother left behind. The question is, can he save his best friend and his dream before too much damage is done? So I like this cover. Now this next one, the rest of these books are all from Amazon. This one, I can't remember if it's February or March for this one. And these are all book club books. The rest of these are all book club books. This particular one is Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. I have not read a book by Darcy Coates, but the books all sound really good. And so I have picked up a couple of them. This will at least get me to read a Darcy Coates book. So hopefully I'll get to this one. When Krista joins a tour group heading deep into the Rocky Mountains, she's hopeful this will be her chance to put the ghosts of her past to rest. But when a bitterly cold snowstorm sweeps the region, the small group is forced to take shelter in an abandoned hunting cabin. Despite the uncomfortably claustrophobic quarters and rapidly dropping temperature, Krista believes they'll be safe as they wait out the storm. She couldn't be more wrong. Deep in the night, their tour guide goes missing, only to be discovered the following morning, his severed head impaled on a tree outside the cabin. Okay. Terrified and completely isolated by the storm, Krista finds herself trapped with 8 total strangers. One of them kills for sport, and they're far from finished. As the storm grows more dangerous and the number of survivors dwindles one by one, Krista must decide whom she can trust before this frozen mountain becomes her tomb. That sounds good. Now, these last 4 books, as I said, they're all book clubs, all from Amazon, and these book club reads all take place in March. So I'm ready for March. This particular one is a middle grade, and it is the Ogress and the Orphans by Kelly Barnhill. Once there was a lovely town that fell on hard times. The library burned down. The people grew suspicious of one another. Even the mayor, a famous dragon slayer, couldn't or wouldn't fix its difficulties. Once there was an ogress who dwelled in the forest nearby. She loved to bake. She made friends with crows. She was twice as tall as any grown-up. And when the mayor needed someone to blame for the town's problems, she was strange and quiet and right there. Once, there were 15 children who lived in the town's orphan house. Anthea was useful. Bartleby loved books. cast noticed everything, and all of them looked at the town and the mayor and the ogress and wondered what they could do to help. Once there was a dragon. What happened next? Listen. This next one is a bit chunker. A bit of a chunker. It's over 500 pages. It looks like it's 500 and... I'll see, that's the glossary. So about 523 pages. This is The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. There's not a synopsis on the back. Is there a synopsis? Okay, I think this is the synopsis on the inside. Where they fight, the world burns. Queen Tafia had the will to do what must be done. Striding past the bodies of the gifted she'd sacrificed and ignoring the horrified faces of her ruling council, Tiafa turned away from the foreign land that would be her people's new home. She quit the ship's deck, descending stairs that took her from light to dark, and, finding herself alone in the false twilight, placed a hand to her stomach. She had so little of Tissuri left, but what she had she would protect. Let them think me a monster, the Dragon Queen thought. I will be a monster if it means we survive. Next up I have This Poison Heart by Kalynn Bayron. Dark magic, a dangerous curse, an ancient mystery. These names I'm struggling with. Briseus has a gift. With a single touch, she can grow plants from tiny seeds to rich blooms. When Briseus's aunt dies and leaves her a dilapidated estate in rural New York, Bree and her parents hope that maybe surrounded by plants and flowers, she will finally learn to control her gift. But their new home is sinister in ways they never expected. It comes with a mysterious set of instructions and a walled garden filled with the world's most lethal botanicals. There is more to her sudden inheritance than she could have imagined, and she is determined to uncover it. It says this is from the best-selling author of Cinderella is Dead. And I have not read that, but it did sound good. I just haven't picked it up, so this will be my first experience with this author. Alright, and real quick, the last book in this haul is Jade War by Fonda Lee. I'm not going to read the synopsis because I have not read the first book, which is Jade City. I still have to read that, but the book club for this one, we're taking 2 months to read it. So Jade City was for January and February, so I still have February to pick it up. Today is January 25th, so I still have time to pick the Jade City up, but I wanted this book ready to go. This one is slotted for March and April, so I have 2 months to work on this one, but I wanted it ready to go. So again, this is Jade War, and this is book number 2 in the Green Bone Saga trilogy. So again, I'm not going to read the synopsis because I have not read the first one, so I'm just going to leave it at that. And that's it. So let me know, have you read any of these books? Have you read from any of these authors? Let me know. What book are you most excited to get to in the upcoming time frame? Whether tomorrow, today, whenever. Let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I'll talk to you later.